What innovative practices or programs are you aiming to do or work towards that improve women's health outcomes?
If equality and equity are non-negotiable, then you've already improved women's lives, right? So you actually have to put it in terms of, if you want to change the world to be better, women have to be included. We are the creators. There wouldn't be a next generation if there was not women, right? We are the moral fiber that holds everything together, because even when the men leave, the women are still left in poverty with the children to raise. And so those days should be gone. Women should not be living in poverty when men can tell you if you can have birth control or tell you if you can receive an abortion. If your birth control fails or you are miscarrying and you need an abortion to save your life, we should have access to that. When women have complete autonomy and they have all their human rights, then they can live their lives exactly how they were meant to and how they want to, right? So by also not having those barriers to care, you allow them to be able to weave their life how they need to when things come up. I don't think men should have an opinion on our bodies, really, because they seem to have the least responsibility out of everything. And, but the good part is, actually, it was funny. We were in the States, I think it was 2019. So it was just before COVID. And we went on New Year's to watch the Leafs play in Minneapolis. And we were in a bar, and Roe had been overturned. It wasn't very long. I can't remember what year it was, but it wasn't that long ago that Roe versus Wade was overturned. And we had our little Canadian table there, and this man and his son come and sit with us. And he was talking about, he didn't feel that women had a right to choose. I started laughing and I said, well, A, I don't agree with you because it's not your business. But number two, I started laughing and I said, well, sir, I said, it couldn't be at a better time for your attitude like that. I said, because, we have DNA testing, and I think that women should have the child's DNA test, and that man should have to pay for everything. They'll never, ever get away with dropping a baby off in a woman and walking away without accountability. So we need to, figure out how we can support those women that these men are leaving all these children all around the place. And they should be having their paychecks docked for responsibility for these children that are left on these women who might have not have had access to care. So, I thought it was so funny that a man was telling me that, if I would have been miscarrying, that I wouldn't have access, right? So when I told him, well, then we'll just charge you guys and make you pay for your children, he was like, whoop. And I was like, yeah, it goes both ways, buddy. Like, you want to force women to have children, then you're going to pay for it. But then the problem is that we would probably see men murdering women to prevent having to pay for the children that they have carelessly. So, it all comes down to men's control. Just wear a condom. A man should wear a condom every time he has sex if he doesn't want to have kids, and quit blaming it on the woman, because we can't get pregnant by ourselves.